go downtown or have a coffee break and gossip. And then when they come back, they say, did you make the errand? They say, yes, but that place was closed, or they had such a good excuse. So the next person was, he didn't tell a story, so everybody was curious, so they asked Jack Rabbit, they said, you can run up there and in no time go. So he said he skipped around the country looking from a distance, and then just skipped around the country looking around and just came back. So you find people like that, and they say, oh, I didn't have time to stop because there was something wrong with the vehicle, so I just turned around and I saw you dead. That's what he said. So all these episodes happened. But I understand, finally they sent Prairie Dog. Prairie Dog complained and said, I got short legs. But they said, you can do better. He said he went there and looked at this horrible beast, checked him out, and he came back and said, yes, he is dead. And then the last thing that they did was there was this bird. They asked a blue jay, they said, why don't you go see? He said he just took his family and said, let's go on a trip. We just look down, and that's not our problem. So they just left. And then this is how people are in reality. These different people, you hear of leaders, and I've heard a story kind of similar to that, and they always said that when you're herding sheep, there's will always be a leader. Because I herd sheep, and then I see that there's always a leader, a sheep that's leading everyone around. And then I would find another sheep that's what you call a scapegoat. You find it on the other side, you chase them and it goes out the other way. And it goes out the other way, and that's the way it operates. And then there's another one called a struggler, always late. And I always think my student behaves that way. They're always late to class. People are always late, making excuses. I was changing tire, I had a flat out. I missed the bus because I was out last night and things like that. So there's always a struggler. But what the Navajos usually cherish is the one that's always in the middle that we call master. That's the one we cherish. So I told my sister that I'm going to take this scapegoat and also the leader to market, and I come back from Fort Summers. So that's what the analogy is in reality. And then finally it comes to where it was proven that Coyote was really dead. So they always said that these animals that live in the community decide to cheer, so they all cheered and marched like this. And they said that's the beginning of a Navajo, I would say, warm-up song again, in the essence of that. So in the Coyote stories, that's just one episode. There's, I would say 12 different versions of it, 12 stories of it in terms of Coyote. I thought I was kind of let you know, since it says Coyote story. I can go on and on and on, and we'll be sitting here till midnight. Okay? Now, actually, I'm here to sing you a Navajo sheep herder's blues. The reason why I call Navajo sheep herder's blues is when I was growing up, I've always told a story that the story that I wrote, it doesn't have it in the book, but the screenplay that I written, it has it on there, and it starts out with this little kid who tries to preserve a language. I think everybody, yesterday I was at a Navajo Language Academy conference. and they were all talking about how decent it is with the Athabascan language. And I'm more or less of a linguistic anthropologist. In other words, I'm more interested in the language itself. Words is what I'm interested in. How it's used, how it's pronounced, why they come in this segment, and what each consonant and vowel stands for. And that's what I'm interested in. I kind of like that. And I'll give you one example. People make a lot of examples. The bird. In Navajo, we say city, the consonant T, S, with a high tone N, and a D, and an F, city. That's what it says. Almost sounds like city. C-I-T-Y. That word, sit, T-S consonant is a kind of like a root word to a stem word to wood, city. So if you translate that, actually what it's saying is wood and city with the it and the diff. It only says, unlike in the dominant society, when we say bird, it's a bird. But when we say city, if you really study it, we're talking about this